So good evening, everyone. So we are calling this meeting to order, so I have to read the following statement. So in accordance with the state's Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting was provided by sending a notice of the time, date, location, and to the extent known, the agenda of this meeting on February 25th, 2022, and June 10th, 2022, to the Home News Tribune and the Times, posted on the district website, placed in the board office, and in each of the district schools, and sent to Plainsboro and West Windsor public libraries and Plainsboro and West Windsor township clerks. So we will go ahead and start the meeting. So I did want to just start with a few comments. First, I did want to acknowledge that today is WWP Spirit Day. As I think you can see from a lot of us on here in the audience and here up in the podium wearing our shirts. So I did want to just first thank all the PTAs for this shirt, and this is just such a great idea of having this shirt with all the schools here. Also just want to do a special shout out to Maya, for our New Jersey PTA Reflections Chair. So just thank you for all your efforts in getting these shirts done and also for getting them to us, so appreciate that. This is our last meeting of the school year, and so I did want to just take the opportunity to, and I mean my regular school year, take this opportunity to just acknowledge a number of people. So first, to our graduates, I just want to say congratulations. We wish you the best on your future endeavors, and we'll miss you, and we'll see you next Tuesday. For all of our employees, our teachers, our IAs, our service personnel, our security team, service support staff, really just on behalf of the board, I just want to thank all of you for your hard work this year. It's been another challenging year, as I know Dr. Adderhold mentioned earlier, and we just really want to thank all of you for being flexible and working with this district through the various changes that have continued to occur. So thank you all so much for a great year. Special thank you to our administrators, our principals, our assistant superintendents, central office. Thank you for your leadership. It has been invaluable. I think on behalf of the board, I want to say a special thank you to Pam and Lee, Chris, Charity, to Patrick, Barbara, to all of you for all the work that you put in to keep us all informed and answer all our questions and just being patient with all the questions that we have. Thank you all so much for helping run this district well and also keeping us informed. So I really want to extend a thank you to all of you. And of course, thank you, a heartfelt thank you, of course, to Dr. Adderhold, to Dave, for your leadership in yet another challenging and difficult year. Through your leadership, this district continues to be, as I said earlier, one of the best districts in the state. And there are so many countless things to name of all the things that you do for this district. I really just wanted to extend a thank you again to all that you do, and know that we appreciate it as a board. And I guess finally to our WWP community, to our students, our parents, and our community members, thank you for this past year for all of your support and your engagement. As I've said this before, we don't always agree on issues, and that's really impossible for that to be the case. But at the end of the day, I think it's clear that we all have the same goal, right? That we want what's best for our students. And that, now more than ever with everything going on, I think we are all in this together. This community is in this together. And what better time to acknowledge that and to say that on Spirit Day. So I do want to just thank you all again for all that you've done this past year. And I want to say thank you and have a wonderful summer. So with that, I'll turn it to Dr. Adderhold.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to acknowledge for the public that's maybe joining in, earlier this evening, we had the opportunity to have our district celebration where we honored our retirees, our Teachers of the Year award winners, as well as our Education Foundation award winners. And just, again, a congratulations to all of those individuals on a job well done, and a congratulations to our retirees. We look forward to our upcoming end-of-the-year celebrations. We're seeing those happen in live time with field days and end-of-year trips. And next week, our middle school salutes on Monday, as well as our graduations of High School South and High School North on Tuesday. So as we work to the conclusion of the school year, just want to wish everyone a happy and healthy summer break, a wonderful conclusion to this school year, and we look forward to welcoming our students back in the 22-23 school year. And again, I look forward to sending off our seniors next week on Tuesday. So with that, I've had an opportunity to say several public comments earlier. I'll end it at that point. So thank you.
All right, so we're going to go now to the first opportunity for public comments. The board invites thoughts and reactions on agenda items and items of concern from members of our community who are present. Each participant is asked to give his or her name and address prior to making a statement, which will be limited to 3 minutes in accordance with Board Policy 0167. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. This public comment period shall be limited to 60 minutes.
Linda Jeevers, 20 Hawthorne Drive, Princeton Junction. I just want to say best wishes to all those who are retiring. I know it's always a wonderful celebration at the end of the year, and I got to see some people that I worked with, I guess going back to when I started on the board, 1999, 2005, so that many of them are starting to retire. So I just wish them well with their future plans, and thank them for their service all of these years. Congratulations to these students at North and High School South on their graduation. I think that they are extraordinarily well prepared for college. I know my husband Neil and I put 3 girls through K-12 here in West Windsor, and they were all very well prepared for college. So, and that's a testament to them, their families, all the teachers, administrators, school board. It's a total package where everybody works together to give them the very best of everything. Also, one final thing, the planning board meeting on the Bridgepoint application, the 5th meeting will be coming up June 29th, 7 p.m. at the Senior Center. If anyone wants to make any comments at this point, the public comment section of the meeting, of the hearing application, was voted to end after about 3.5 hours of public comment. However, if anyone wants to write in to the planning board, you certainly can do so. So I just encourage everyone who has anything to say about that to please make their thoughts known. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Geeta Vedanta Desikan. I live 27 Hereford Drive, Princeton Junction. Thank you to the entire team for their efforts throughout the year, for keeping our kids safe in spite of this crazy last 2 years, and making this year a very successful year in person education. I'll take this opportunity, dear Dr. Adderhold and the entire Board of Education team, I'm sure you're all aware of this application, the Bridgepoint WLLC, which is coming up in a huge warehouse facility. I don't want to go too much in detail, but each of you would have the pamphlet which I have given you. I would just like to emphasize a few points. So a curveball was thrown on May, one of the meetings. Initially, their plan was to have all the traffic from the warehouse to Route 1, and now they are proposing the traffic to go through Clarksville Road. And we do understand that we have 2 schools, one elementary, one high school. And we are not talking about small truck traffic. It's a huge number of trucks going through Clarksville Road. The NJDOT is worried about the traffic in Route 1, and we are not very sure if they are going to approve their application to route all the trucks and cars through Route 1, the warehouse traffic. But the county lifted they said that it's okay for warehouse to have their traffic through Clarksville Road instead. So we are at this point, and we the data shows from the research done by the Bridgepoint people that 17% of the passenger vehicles and 20% of the trucks that are going to flow through Clarksville Road North. I'm not talking about the other side of the Meadow Road. I'm talking about the Clarksville Road North, close to our schools, where our schools are, which comes to 30 18-wheeler trucks and 150 cars. These are additional number of vehicles. And this is all from the data from the Bridgepoint people who did this analysis, traffic analysis. And this is just during the peak hours. And we are all aware that warehouse traffic is just not peak hours, it goes 24/7. So the 30 trucks is going to be like 24/7. That's a peak hour traffic that they estimated. So having said that, a few concerns as a parent. There has not been any analysis done on the air pollution or the noise pollution from the Bridgepoint on the route of the trucks. It was performed just like within their facility. And there was no hazard analysis. We as a school district, I feel we should do the hazard analysis, especially we have a lot of bikers. We have school buses flying around in that road, and also new high school drivers, not to mention some are clueless on where to take left turn, right turn, so we are all aware of that. So I highly recommend, we are concerned about the safety of the kids and the... Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Arun Bhosle. Arundhati Bhosle, and for disclosure, I just wanted to give you guys my credentials. I am a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey with a background in civil and structural engineering. My address is 288 Clarksville Road. I would like to, good evening everyone. I'd like to address, importantly, Geeta covered most of the points, but as from my professional capacity, I have reviewed these documents which were published by the Bridgepoint West Windsor LLC and submitted to the Town Council and the Planning Board. The major concern here is, as Geeta also said, that a curveball was thrown in, and that was just recently, that was during the month of May, and where they started rerouting the trucks into our Clarksville North. And based on my experience, whatever I have gathered, and based on whatever was suggested during the Planning Board meeting on May 25th, where Mr. Marathi and his Planning Board committee also commented on, was it is understood that the truck, there is something going on where the New Jersey DOT is restricting. Basically, they have understood the traffic impact of this huge 5.5 million square feet warehouse. And that's the reason they're asking the applicant to reroute their trucks. What does that mean is they are rerouting it 50% of the capacity going on to US Route 1 and to northbound for Clarksville Road. Clarksville Road is already a crazy junction right now. Since I live close to Morris Hawk, and I have spoken with the crossing guard as well, we were going to door to door to get ink signatures for this petition. The crossing guard itself, he himself said that thank you for doing this, and I'm myself scared when I tried to stop the traffic here. I have seen cars actually flying, not driving. So I wanted to ask Dr. Adderhold and his team to see how you guys can help us with this cause. And we did present the public comments to the town council member. We have drafted a letter today which we will be presenting to the planning board, and we can definitely share with you. But we urge and request your help to see how we can stop the truck traffic entering Clarksville Road and other school locations. We have also suggested a new ordinance to the town council to restrict truck traffic for all the roads leading to the schools. That would also include the New Village Road. Not just the truck traffic, but we can also create an ordinance for the speed limit and the speed bumps. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments?
Sonia Gawas, 28 Melville Road. Full disclosure, I am on Westminster Council, but I am here as a parent. I want to first start with congratulating and good wishes to Mrs. Buell here. I still remember when I walked in Maurice Hawk for the first time, you welcomed us as welcome parents of graduate students of 2027, and my heart fell on the floor. And I'm here seeing you retiring now. You brought a good smile to us every step of the way. Big support for us PTA parents. So we are going to miss you. Let me also thank the board here. We yet again had a very tough year, but I think we all persevered through it, and congratulations for a good year. Thank you, Dr. Adderhold, for everything you do. I just wanted to, I think you, as a board, you may have, I'm hoping you may have received this information already. There was an incident that happened at Community Middle School on June 3rd. Our daughter has been bullied for quite some time verbally, but on Friday, June 3rd, there was a physical altercation, and that was really tough. I did not know what my daughter was going through in school. She was being called names because of her color of her skin, which is completely unacceptable. And on that Friday, actually, I applaud Mr. Hammett for taking notice of it and calling me before even my daughter could mention to me what had occurred. So I do want to thank how the school has handled the situation, and Mr. Hammett has kept me updated on a daily basis of all the procedures that has been taken. And I just wish the students involved, not just my daughter, but all the students involved get the right guidance and follow up, because we are talking about 11, 12-year-old girls here, so they do need the right guidance so they don't make this mistake in future, because words are very powerful, and certain words, I won't repeat the words that my daughter had to hear, but I'm sure, I hope the board here hears back from the school about what had occurred. But just wanted to take the few moments to thank the school administration for taking the right steps and helping our daughter and the other students involved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vasanti Anand, 22 Scott Avenue. I have dropped in for the first time ever and making a comment because I will truly miss Mrs. Buell. This was one of those rare occasions where I have to congratulate, first of all, everyone who on their retirement, on the awards, the years of service, and to the board for handling all of the difficulties that we endured the last few years. And Mrs. Buell, my kids have been through the school years with you. It's an end of an era for me. And Maurice Hawk is truly, close to my heart. And having served with, on the PTA board with Sonia, Graylin, thank you so much for everything that you do and for everything that you're continuing to do. And thank you, Dr. Aderhold, for all your years that you, have in terms of service and the care and whatever I just heard from Sonia in terms of the actions that the school administration takes with respect to anything that's hearsay or with respect to anything that's out there in other schools. Any incident, there's always some level of discipline, and there's always some level of communication and decorum that's maintained. So thank you, everybody. I really, really appreciate that. Anything else with respect to the warehouses and no trucks, I will reserve that for the planning board meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any other comments? Okay. All right, hearing none, we'll close the public comment portion. So we will now turn to our committee reports, starting with administration and facilities. Oh, sure.
Before the committee reports, I just want to respond briefly to the warehouse. I've been in touch with 2 or 3 PTA parents that raised the matter to my office. I, in turn, have been in touch with the mayor directly. The warehouse application is not something that the Board of Education is a party to. So it's important to note that the process is very much a township process. We have to respect that process. The planning board and ultimately the township council also has multiple jurisdictions because there's the county the county planning board as well as the state process because of Route 1. So you have county roads, township roads, and state roads all involved. So it's a complicated planning board process. There was a statement that was attributed to me that was stated about how there's ongoing communication with the township, but with the school district. With respect to the planner, I specifically reached out to the township because that's not the case, and I just want to make sure that parents have on record, and I've shared this with the mayor, that there is not an ongoing dialogue about the warehouse, and the district has not been consulted at all about it. What I was simply asked one question, which was, what are the times of the school bus times? With no context. I provided an answer to that to Sam Surtees. But clearly, any kind of truck traffic that would come down Clarksville Road would have an impact, and I understand that the impact is being talked about from a Hawk South perspective, but a larger conversation has to be had about the district impact because our out-of-district buses, and that's over 90% of our buses, are from vendors that come primarily out of Trenton. Many come down that road as a way to do bus drives throughout the entire community. And remember, we cross the community with our upper elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. So they go to communities all over to get across. So all schools would be impacted by an increase of traffic along one road, not just 2. While, yes, Hawk and South would be directly impacted, there's also the Princeton Terrace community that goes directly to Dutch Neck, right? And that is the closest to actually the WAC in that zone where that is. So we're also forgetting about that Dutch Neck sending community as well. So this is not to say the district has no say ultimately in what occurs there. We can voice concern from the perspective of, yes, there may be impact, but the township planning board and the township council has the right to put restrictions. It's my understanding that upwards of 90 restrictions are being contemplated. And it was also my understanding that that was going to be posted on the township website. I do not know if that's happened yet, but it is my understanding that that was to happen. And out of respect to their process, I haven't had an opportunity to review it. Out of respect to them and the work that they do, I have every intention to review that. And if it's appropriate to give feedback or give thoughts on behalf of the district, we'll contemplate that. But that process has to play itself out. I do trust that the township planning board and the township council does not want to send truck after truck down into the heart of the township. So they're in a difficult predicament because there is a property that has a right to bring forward an application. And as they bring forward that application, the planning board has a responsibility to vet that within the confines of how the rules are set up. So they are in a predicament where they have to follow a process and they can only offer feedback and or potential restrictions based on what the rules allow. So they're going through a vetted process, and we have to honor that, just like we would expect that they would honor if we had a process being played out with board policy and regulations. So they're following their regulations. Public comment is part of it. The district will have to look at it further. We'll look at the ordinance that they're suggesting. We haven't seen that yet, so that may have been posted. I haven't seen it yet, but it may be up there. And then we'll see how the process plays out. But I have trust that the mayor and the council and the planning board doesn't want to create a detriment to the community, to the township, but it does. But they are in a position where they have to review the application in front of them. So we'll see how that process plays itself out. I appreciate you raising it and coming forward. Linda, I saw.
No, it's just before the planning board.
What's planning board? It's not to the council yet.
No, they approved it, it's a site plan. That's the planning board, not.
So it's a site plan review. So this matter lands with the planning board and the site plan review. So the council itself has no vote over it? Thank you. Okay, thanks for the clarification. Well, that's a different matter. So this is not, we have to be careful not to let this devolve. I appreciate the clarification. I'm sorry if I misspoke. Right, yet. So we'll have to see how it unfolds at the planning board. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for the clarification. Thanks, Dana. Okay, so now we'll move on to the committee reports. We'll start with Administration Facilities.
Hello, good evening. The Admin and Facilities Committee met on June 7th. We were delighted to have District Athletic Director Kate Dobinson and Assistant Athletic Director Jeff Riley join us to present an athletic action plan, which identifies areas in need of growth while highlighting the program's accomplishments on and off the field. The committee reviewed the several policies and regulations and recommended them for a first reading as follows. There's one for examination for cause, and harassment, intimidation, and bullying, emergency and crisis situations, cooperation with law enforcement agencies. There's a policy and a regulation for that. The committee reviewed the several policies and regulations and we recommended them for second reading and approval at tonight's meeting. Title I district-wide parent and family engagement, Title I school parent and family engagement, student intervention and referral services, maintenance and repair, facilities maintenance, repair, scheduling, and accounting. And one policy, one regulation is R7510, use of facilities. We're going to pull that and do some more work on it and have it out on our next meeting. Next, we discussed the class of 2023 senior class trips, followed by an equity update in which their district stakeholder meeting was had on May 17th and provided an opportunity for additional feedback on the strategic plan while celebrating diversity, equity, and inclusivity, the inclusivity work that has been done to date. The committee also got an update on the status of construction projects from the referendum. The dance studio at High School North is on pace for a July 2022 completion. Finishing touches at High School South are underway, including landscaping, sidewalks, and punch list items. Work will continue through the summer at Community Middle School, including renovations to the band and engineering rooms and science labs. Masons are building interior and exterior walls for the Wyckoff School addition. The committee recommends 2 existing job descriptions being updated for outdated language for approval tonight. These are the athletic trainer and the instructional assistant for ESL. The committee also reviewed new descriptions for board certified behavioral analyst in general education, supervisor for world languages, English language learning, and dual language immersion, grades 6 through 12, and supervisor of world languages, English language learning, and dual language immersion for grades 5 to kindergarten to 5th grade. The committee will next meet on July 19th.
Thank you, Dana. Are there any questions from board members? Okay. We'll now go next to the Curriculum Committee report. Loy?
Thank you, Rachel. The committee met on January 7th, and we started the meeting, June 7th, sorry. We started the meeting with a presentation by Ms. Rachel Rodelico. She joined us in order to share her dissertation topic, which is teacher supports and mindsets around providing opportunities for creative thinking in elementary education. Ms. Rodelico is a gifted and talented resource teacher specialist who currently serves the K-3 student population. Next, Dr. Nathan shared her Merit Go evidence with the Curriculum Committee. We reviewed the evidence, asked questions, and provided feedback. The Merit Go focused on the K-5 report card, revision work, the launch of the report cards, as well as support and communication tools. The Curriculum Committee recommends approval of the Merit Goal. Next on the agenda, the Curriculum Committee recommends approval for the professional development, several AP Summer Institute professional development opportunities, one for AP Literature, teacher to attend at Northwestern University virtually from the 5th of July through the 18th at a cost of $730. 2 AP U.S. History teachers to attend at Rice University virtually from July 25th to the 29th at a cost of $600. 1 AP U.S. History teacher to attend at Augsburg University from the 11th of July to the 15th at a cost of $650. And 1 AP U.S. History teacher to attend at Manhattan College virtually from the 8th of August through the 12th at a cost of $900. The Curriculum Committee also recommends approval of the technology contracts that are listed in tonight's agenda. There are 25 of them for 1-year agreements. And again, we do recommend approval of those technology-related agreements. Last but not least, the Curriculum Committee recommends approval for the professional development consultants. First, the Physical Edge to present 12 one-hour sessions for district teachers during the 22-23 school year at a total cost not to exceed $8,800. And the Adventure Guild, LLC, to present a 2-day Adventure Ropes recertification workshop for district high school physical education teachers at a total cost not to exceed $2,175. And the committee will next meet on July 12th at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from board members? Okay. We'll now go to the Finance Committee report. Louisa?
The Finance Committee met on June 6th. The committee reviewed agenda items for the June 14th board meeting. The annual year-end motion to transfer end-of-year surplus to the capital reserve account is on the agenda for approval. There are also motions to approve the voluntary student accident insurance plan rates for the 22-23 school year, authorize the second year of the copier agreement, renew the landscaping and mowing contract, approve cooperative bid purchases, and dispose of some obsolete equipment. RFP awards are on the agenda for both the reading and writing workshop and community education summer enrichment programs. Other items of note are the acceptance of an NSIG safety grant award to purchase end-user network security software, many transportation bid awards, and transportation renewals at the state CPI rate of 1.9%. Staff updated the committee on the status of construction projects. Fire alarm documents at Wyckoff are awaiting approval from Plainsboro Township. For HVAC work at High School North, HVAC graphics are substantially complete and ready for commissioning. At Millstone River, they are working out the final adjustments to new HVAC equipment. The High School North Dance Studio rooftop HVAC unit will be delivered later this week and installed immediately, requiring a crane. After the unit is connected and running, the dance floor can be installed to complete the job. Dana talked about construction updates at South, Community, and Wyckoff, so I will not do that again. Staff also updated our committee on media center projects. The High School North Media Center and Culinary Arts Lab renovation bid will be advertised on June 8th. The Media Center renovation for Dutch Neck and Millstone River was advertised on May 23rd. Staff also updated the committee on the Energy Savings Improvement Program work. The Town Center chiller installation is 90% complete. Final controls and balancing work is occurring this week. The new cooling tower for Village should arrive this week. Installation is anticipated to take less than a week if the contractor's schedule can be accommodated. The district will sell solar renewable energy credits in July. The district sells these twice a year. The district has been using Wiss & Company for its annual financial audits. The audit division of Wiss & Company has been acquired by another company. The current team will remain in place and perform the 21-22 audit. For cafeteria, during the month of May, an average of 520 breakfasts and over 6,000 lunches were served daily. There were 114,456 lunches served in total. Sodexo needs to hire more staff. They are working with Project Hire and NJDVR for recruitment. For the fall, the district will need to have 11 POS terminals and 26 PIN pad scanners at a total cost of $28,299. Send Hunger Packing has donated $8,000 in the form of $25 gift cards for students during the fiscal 21-22 school year. They also continue to donate biweekly packages of non-perishables from the Mercer Friends to these students. Staff updated the committee on transportation issues. They reported that bids were accepted for the non-public bus routes. However, no bids were received for High School North Athletics or CMS Spring Sports. The vendors did not have enough drivers to complete these routes at the required 3 p.m. time slot and commented that they could accommodate the route set for. In other business, Dr. Adderhold updated the committee on the recent happenings at South. District COVID case numbers have stabilized following a post-spring break spike. Combined, the building expansions at South, Community, Grover, and Wyckoff are adding 133,480 square feet of space. ABM, the district's cleaning subcontractor, will require an addendum to their contract to add 6 custodial full-time equivalents to maintain this additional space, plus 1 additional for the Board of Education building, primarily for work associated with special events. The committee is next scheduled to meet on July 19th, but we are having some discussions about possibly rescheduling that.
Thank you, Louisa. Are there any questions or comments from board members? Okay, thank you. We're going to now move to the voting portion of our meeting. Can I get a motion for administration items 1 to 13 with a couple of corrections or omissions? We're going to be omitting in item 5, Regulation 7410 for maintenance and repair, and Regulation 7510 for use of school facilities. Dana and Liz, are there any questions or comments?
I actually have a couple of questions for the administration.
Okay.
I was wondering if you could give us a general sense of what a security drill might look like for our students and staff, obviously without giving away any specific protocols that could inadvertently put anyone at risk, just to give a sense of the general feel of that. And secondly, I was wondering what kinds of safeguards we have in place for when the kids and the staff might be outside.
Thank you. With Dr. McDonald in the audience this evening, who oversees safety and security for the district, Dr. McDonald, do you want to take that, or would you like me to take it? We'll invite him to the podium, perhaps, and then I can always jump in.
So first I would just say, obviously in light of recent tragedies across the country, Uvalde, and the national discussion on safety and security in schools, we've made an effort to be conscious of the heightened anxiety, how people are feeling with regards to school security. Certainly, if you go back and look at the memo that Dr. Adderhold put out a couple weeks ago, just kind of highlighting all the different safety and security procedures that we have in place. Everything from our Class 3 officers to our security vestibules, our processes for welcoming guests and visitors to our buildings, our safety and security drills. So in light of the recent tragedies, we were conscious of the heightened anxiety. So what we did was made sure that as far as the drilling is concerned, gave our staff a heads up, but also made sure that our students understood that these were drills, right? We're required by the state to have at least a security drill and a fire drill every month, and that requirement still hasn't gone away. But because of the recent circumstances, we wanted to make sure that our staff and our students kind of understood that these are drills and that we have to practice them. Though certainly not a best practice. Ideally, you're doing those drills in a place where people are going through this thinking that, hey, this is something I got to make sure that we're doing. I don't know if it's a drill or not. And then the second part of your question, can you repeat that again?
I was just wondering what it might look like or what kind of safety safeguards you have for when kids and staff are outside.
Sure. So when we have regular communication with both law enforcement in Plainsboro and West Windsor. They have a schedule of when our drills are going to occur. So they're very conscious of that, and they understand when and where those drills are going to occur. When we do have certain things outside, certain events, we make sure that there's a police presence. Recently, with incidents that happened in both North and South, we made sure that we had active police presence in light of those situations. So I think it's really just about making sure that our law enforcement in both townships is well aware. As the district's security specialist, I have regular conversations with both police departments so that they're aware of challenges that we're facing, and that they can support our students and staff through any issues that we might have and vice versa. So it's really that ongoing communication and making sure that they're present. And then even when we do have certain events that are going on, for example, the community middle school last Friday, there was a student-led walkout in support of Uvalde. Our Plainsboro police knew the schedule, they were there, they were present, just to make sure everybody felt safe and secure.
Thank you. That's really reassuring that you have such a strong partnership with the police departments. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And to build on that, Barbara, would you mind talking from like maybe the principal lens about some of the additional things that might happen when staff are outside?
Sure. So we also practice drills with staff members outside. Staff members always have walkie-talkies on them. When the drills are announced indoors, they are also announced on a walkie-talkie so that anyone who is outside is aware that we are having a drill. Staff members are, depending on what type of drill it is, they're told to go to another location, and we practice that as well. So PE teachers will take students to the secondary location when there is a drill happening or when we're in a lockdown or in shelter in place. So we practice drills that way as well. Sometimes we do it intentionally to practice like during recess, during times where kids are not in the classroom, intentionally so that they know where to go. The same at lunchtime, we have had drills where students have been in the middle of lunch, and that is on purpose too, just to make sure that our lunch aides and anyone who is with the students are aware of all of the drills too.
Thank you.
I would also just add that this also happens with our athletic teams. We practice code blue drills, so we actually practice timing to get inside to a trainer from communication to make sure that we can communicate inside. We also have drills that occur when students and staff are not here. I represent Mercer County with the Mercer County's rapid response team. So we have had officers from all over the county that have come here. We've done sweeps of buildings. We've done training of buildings. We've had officers from throughout the county within our buildings just to gain comfort and familiarity. And that happens, we've done that at Quaker Bridge Mall. We've done that in other school systems. That's a credit to our prosecutor, Angela Anfari. Also, Lieutenant Maher from West Windsor PD is the co-chair of that committee. And then there's a superintendent representative, so I serve as that for Mercer County. So there's a lot of coordination happening outside. And just, something that Lee and Barbara didn't speak to, and maybe didn't speak to the question, but wasn't part of the question, but we really look at this as a holistic approach to school security. And so that talks about mental health and counseling and nursing, and it talks about culture and climate in classrooms and social emotional learning, and these last incidents that we had at High School South, and I'll say incidents in the sense that reports of a concern were students that came forward and brought forward information. But again, technology was a friend here, where we have that process with Gaggle, right? So yes, they sent an email in, but that email went to a counselor, and an email went to a counselor and assistant principal who may or may not have seen it over the weekend. But because of Gaggle, it went to 7 administrators. And because it went to 7 administrators, we were able to respond in live time and have the incident essentially processed and determined with police and school district communication over a 7-hour period on a Sunday, instead of shutting down a school on a Monday, right, and not sure what the status of safety was for our school community. So it's a real credit to our West Windsor and Plainsboro officers working in partnership, because this particular incident crossed 2 communities, because someone who saw it was a North student in a Discord chat room who then responded to a North administrator and counselor, but it happened to be a South student that did the post, right? So it crossed 2 schools and 2 police departments and 2 counties and 2 prosecutors, right, in the school system, all working in partnership. But it was, a lot of things worked well and worked together, and that's an ongoing credit to the partnership over time and the systems that we have in place.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for those responses. Right, Chris?
Okay. We'll start with Ms. Bonso.
Yes.
Okay. Excuse me. And Okay. Jeez, I'm stuttering all of a sudden. Whew. It's been a long night. Ms. Cheniera.
Yes.
Ms. Ho.
Yes.
Ms. Krug.
Yes.
Ms. Maliga.
Yes.
Ms. Shetty.
Yes.
Ms. Ovich.
Yes.
Ms. McEwen.
Yes.
Ms. Juliana.
Yes. Right, we now go to curriculum and instruction, items 1 through 4 with a couple of corrections. Item 2A, the beginning date on there should be July 1st, 2022. And item 2E, the ending date should be September 30th, 2023. Can I get a motion for those items? Loy and Pooja?
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Cheniera.
Yes.
Ms. Ho.
Yes.
Ms. Krug.
Yes.
Ms. Maliga.
Yes.
Ms. Shetty.
Yes.
Ms. Ovich.
Yes.
Ms. Bonsall.
Yes.
Ms. McEwen.
Yes.
Ms. Juliana.
Yes. And we now go to the finance items, 1 through 59, plus the blue addendum, and just one omission, omitting item number 19. Louisa and Graylin, any questions or comments?
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Ho.
Yes.
Ms. Krug.
Yes.
Ms. Maliga.
Yes.
Ms. Shetty.
Yes.
Ms. Ovich.
Yes, but I have to abstain from, I think it's C1A.
C1A. Okay, and next is Ms. Bonsall.
Yes.
Ms. Cheniera.
Yes.
Ms. McEwen.
Yes.
Ms. Juliana.
Yes. And then for the last item in finance, this is for just the board's review and acknowledgement. So this is pursuant to requirements of NJSA 18A-42.2. The board acknowledges that they've received in the board packets and reviewed the list of contracts awarded by the BOE during the past 12 months. So all those who acknowledge this say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All opposed? Okay. Thank you. So we now go next to personnel, items 1 through 5, plus the green and purple addendum. Robin and Shweta.
Good evening, everyone, again. Just want to acknowledge one of our hires are here in the audience this evening. Want to acknowledge Ms. Sarah Bright as a recommended candidate for the principalship of Maurice Hawk Elementary School. Sarah's a sort of a welcome home story. She served as an instructional aide at Town Center, began as a teacher at Maurice Hawk Elementary School, and then went back to Town Center Elementary School as a classroom teacher. She earned her master's in literacy, reading at Teachers College, and then went on to serve as a reading specialist in the Princeton school system. From there, she became a supervisor of instruction up in, I want to say Oradell, and then went to supervisor of instruction in Edison. Then she became a principal in Edison, and then went to Livingston as principal, where she served the last 5 years. So Sarah comes to us with 10 years of experience, 2 master's degree, and current doctoral candidate at University of Virginia. We are very excited to have her join our team and want to welcome her this evening.
So, Chris?
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Krug.
Yes.
Ms. Maliga.
Yes.
Ms. Shetty.
Yes.
Ms. Bonsall.
Yes.
Ms. Cheniera.
Yes.
Ms. Ho.
Yes.
Ms. Ovich.
Yes.
Oh, Ms. McEwen.
Yes.
Ms. Juliana.
Yes. And on our personnel agenda, we had one retirement tonight. I want to acknowledge the retirement of Suzanne Catalina, a secretary at Village School, for her 26 years of service to the district. So I want to thank you, Suzanne, for all of those years of service, and I appreciate that. Thank you. So we now go to the approval of our board minutes. Can I get a motion for the approval of the May 10th closed session minutes? Just Liz and Pooja. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? Any liaison reports?
I have one. Someone else does. Hi, good evening, everyone. The WWP Education Foundation Education Board met on June 8th. Ashima Saxena had announced that this will be her last year as president. She shared with us that she had formed a strong partnership with and support from the administration. She felt that she had accomplished much with the support from the community. She shared her appreciation for the teachers and identifying their needs during each of the grant cycles. The first virtual innovation fair and talent show was held on June 4th. They felt it was an outstanding event with strong participation and a diverse array of virtual presentations and activities. They received 2 diamond and 1 platinum sponsorships. The talent show committee received 120 audition tapes. They were very impressed with all the talented students. They saw Rubik's Cube expertise, a ventriloquist, and many, many piano players, to name a few. In the end, they were only able to select 25 acts. At the district celebration, which was held earlier tonight, the Ed Foundation was able to provide 17 teachers with grant certificates. The STAR campaign generated donations of $3,400 as of the date of their meeting, as of June 8th, and they were still accepting a few more after that. And last but not least, the executive committee is actively scouting for board members. So if you are interested in giving back to the community, they would love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn. Any other liaison reports? Any new business? Okay. That takes us to the second opportunity for public comments. The board invites comments from members of our community who are present. Each participant is asked to give his or her name and address prior to making a statement, which will be limited to 3 minutes in accordance with Board Policy 0167. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. This public comment period shall be limited to 15 minutes. Are there any comments? No? Okay. All right. Hearing none, I'll close the second opportunity for public comments. And now we will need to recess into closed session, so I'll read the following. So whereas the Open Public Meetings Act authorizes boards of education to meet in executive session under certain circumstances, whereas the Open Public Meetings Act requires the board to adopt a resolution at a public meeting to go into private session, now therefore be it resolved by the West Windsor-Plainsboro Regional School District Board of Education that it is necessary to meet in executive session to discuss certain items involving the superintendent evaluation. Be it further resolved that any discussion held by the board, which need not remain confidential, will be made public as soon as feasible. The minutes of the executive session will not be disclosed until the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Be it further resolved that the board will not return to open session to conduct business at the conclusion of the executive session. So can I get a motion to adjourn to closed session? Louisa and Robin? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the meeting.